Good evening. I hope everyone is ready for some fun action because we're back with another spoiler race tournament today with Jeddoman versus AceZer0187. This is a 0-1 matchup in the Swiss round, so both of these racers took a loss in the first round, so we're going to be looking for their first win today. One of them is definitely going to get them. My name is Walter the Fourth, and with me is Tracy M. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Looking forward to another, hopefully really good Link to the Past spoiler log race. Had calmed a really good one, really close one yesterday, so hopefully we get more of the same here. Yeah, like I said, both of these runners lost their first round matches, so both are going to want to get back on the winning end here.
Yeah, Swiss rounds can be they can be a little bit brutal sometimes. They're good in the way that you keep getting faced against opponents that have a similar matchup as, or result as you have, so that makes things pretty fair in that sense. But it also makes that every race becomes a lot more competitive all of a sudden. Doesn't matter if you're on the low end or the high end of the bracket or on the Swiss rounds. It's pretty much going to be tough games no matter what.
Yeah, every week you're going to get closer and closer matchups because the way Swiss works is basically every time, they'll just keep matching people closer and closer together, and you hope to see, and that way you get some really close matchups as we go on. Nothing in Link's house, it looks like. Looks like we're heading over to Uncle.
Yeah, it looks like AceZer almost had a little bit of muscle memory there, heading towards the chest, but then quickly stopping himself. Looks like both our runners are going to head for the Uncle passage here.
That's not the tree pull I think Jeddoman was looking for.
Yeah, I wonder if the tree pulls is part of the spoiler log. I want to say they
I think it is.
Maybe they're not. Yeah,
but,
that would explain why AceZer was skipping it.
Yeah, just a hammer on the Uncle, and they're not saving and quitting, so let's see if there's something else here. Oh, actually, this will let them do escape if they want that.
Yeah, that's fair. They have a weapon to go through it. 50 rupees, that's some nice money for potential buying some bombs later on as well.
Yeah. One of the differences I find in these spoiler races is you can't rely on always having those bombs and those arrows. Because, in a normal randomizer, you're just picking those up and you're like, oh, no arrows, oh, bombs, I don't want that. But then, it turns out you actually do use those. And here you have to route them in a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Since you're not killing as many enemies and grabbing a lot of bonus chests, having a good idea what's underneath pots and stuff like that becomes a lot more valuable.
Yeah, and in general, I think that pot thing you mentioned gives someone that runs a little more NMG a little bigger advantage, because I know those NMG runners, they know exactly what pots have what arrows and bombs. Those are all routed into an NMG run. Whereas for Randomizer, you pick them up when you need them, and if you know what they are, great, but you pick up so many just from chests, so you don't usually need it that much.
Yeah, speaking of pots, Jeddoman actually got a little bit close there. Got a little bit bullied by one of the blue guards, but managed to pick up a couple of hearts underneath the pots there. And it looks like we have a Moon Pearl.
Yeah, that's all we got. Ace picks up the Moon Pearl, saves and quits, and let's see where he goes.
You're gonna need that one, that's for sure.
And looks like he's heading over towards Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern makes sense, I think, because he doesn't have any bombs, so probably not heading to Sasha now.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah, not gonna be able to blow up that back door. We'll see if he. Yeah, and let's see where is he heading? Is he? No, he is heading straight over to Eastern. Okay. Whereas Jeddoman looks like he's heading over to Kakariko. Or maybe the Lost Woods. So already a little bit of route divergence.
Yeah, it's always interesting. Sometimes in a spoiler round, there's especially in the early game, it feels like there's one set path that most runners agree upon, but it's always interesting when You have like different ideas on how to route the seed. Sometimes maybe skipping a progression item in order to just full clear it in one single go might be better, but sometimes it might just be worth going in twice if you get something really good early on.
Okay, already picking up the big key. This is a crystal dungeon, and even if he's not going to be able to full clear it right now, you don't want to have to go get that big key when you come back here later, so might as well pick it up now when you're in here the first time.
Yeah, for sure. Makes sense. It's not like it's going to be over on that side next time he comes back anyways.
Yeah, jeddoman picking up some bombs, so there's going to be something in one of these bombable areas that he wants.
Yeah, it's interesting you decided to pick up the bombs instead of buying them there. Might be saving those money for a pot instead, because we do see that pot is a crystal.
Okay, what's back here that he wants those bombs for? Oh, more money. Okay. Maybe bottle vendor. Okay, the glove's important, though. Those 5 rupees,
for sure.
less so.
Yeah, sometimes you might not have the time to write down exactly what chest it was in.
Yeah.
So maybe he was just full sweeping it in case there was maybe like some nice safeties or something like that as well. And AceZer is going the whole 9 yards here, getting to the back of Eastern. These dark rooms can be a little bit scary when you only 3 hearts and like no sword or anything like that to guide yourself. It looks like you're doing a good job here.
Not bad. The hammer's kind of a nice item for that, because you can just hammer your way across the room to get the key. And, you know, on the room before that, you know where you can kind of follow the path of the anti-fairies. It's not so bad. It's going to be a little scary. Oh, boots. That's what he wanted. I was going to say, if this were Bo, going and doing the back to get to Armo size, that's a little scarier to do. 3 hearts, green mail,
Yeah.
not even a sword. Yeah, that don't blame him for not going there.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that you would without not that you would go there without a bow, but you know.
Looks like Jeddah might actually be heading over towards those boots as well.
Something in Bonk Rocks. Yeah, I like Ace's plan to do that right away. Okay. We don't know where that other bow is, but that sure looks like a forced double tip of Eastern Palace.
Yeah, that's a kind of... That's a pretty rude play to put the bow in. When Jeddah was over in Kakariko, did it farm, or did it grab enough chests to get over 500 rupees?
Yes, he did.
That's a pretty interesting amount of rupees. Looks like AceZer is going for the rupees as well, so Sora might have something quite important to see.
There's that 300 and 100. Yeah, lots of rupees in Kakariko right now. But yeah, I definitely like the Ace's choice to go ahead and get those boots right away. Just every moment, especially if you're a strong runner. And I know Ace is a very strong runner. He's just in the All Dungeons tournament that's still going on. Made it to brackets there, and so yeah, people don't quite understand that the thing about boots, they really do favor that stronger runner. Like you're better off, honestly, if you're the weaker runner, you're better off in a bootsless seat, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Looks like Ace is gonna go pick up some bombs here now.
Spend a little bit of money, get those bombs.
We do have Dark World access for both runners. We'll see if they decide to go into Dark World with... It's gonna be a pretty scary Dark World with swordless and this low amount of health. Especially when you have boots and you don't have a sword. Dashing around in the Dark World can be kind of scary.
It's very dangerous. A lot of enemies in the Dark World do at least 2 hearts, some even 3 hearts of damage when you have green mail. So early Dark World access here, not necessarily the greatest thing. Ace gonna pick up this extra container heart.
And it's a pretty nice safety.
Yeah, and it's nice, a very nice location for it too. Okay, Okay, let's see where he goes next. Back to the house. Could be doing, yeah, Hammer looks like he's headed over towards Hype Cave, would be my guess.
Yeah, it looks like it. We'll see what the Dark World has in store. Maybe Hype Cave is going to be good for once.
And Ace doing a good job of realizing he can't just dash through those bushes without a sword.
Yeah, if you end up doing that, you're going to get a pretty rude awakening quite quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like there's something worthwhile here, at least.
Cape. Interesting. Okay, so something on Bumper Ledge, I think.
That feels like it. Potentially even Spike Cave, but...
yeah, it could be Spike Cave. I mean, Cape it's a nice luxury item, but unless you need it for Spike Cave or for more likely for Bumper Ledge, just not the item that you would expect someone to go out of their way for.
Ooh, and we're diving into the pod, it looks like.
Yep.
No lamp and no sword.
No fire rod.
These dark rooms can be a bit more intimidating than Eastern, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, if only 5 hearts green mail. Definitely a very dangerous area. Could be that our first sword is there, so we're going to find out pretty soon on Ace's side. A lamp could also be there. That would also make this a lot easier.
That would be pretty convenient.
Or even a fire rod. Okay, not sure what Jeddoman was trying to do over there, but he's saving and quitting. Yeah, let's see where he goes. Also to the house, see if he goes over to Hype Cave. See if he picks up that cape.
Yep, the runners are allowed to watch the restream or just have their opponent's stream up, since they both already have access to the information where every single item is. So sometimes it's potential that a runner could just completely change their route on the fly depending on what their opponent's doing.
Of course, pod always a little bit tricky because you have to make sure you know where those small keys are, how many you need to pick up. He is bombing that wall there, so I'm guessing there's something over there on the right side, but he's not going to go get it right away. Or maybe that's just muscle memory, we'll see.
Yeah, it could be muscle memory, potentially. Or else we'll probably see him come back. A good thing with having this low amount of health is that...
he wanted that fairy.
Yeah. At least we can do a quick depth warp.
Yep. Oh, there's our sword.
There is a sword. Okay, that's going to help the dark rooms a lot, that's for sure.
Oh, a huge difference having those swords.
Ooh,
oh, and there's a fire rod.
Pyramid. That would have been pretty nice before pod.
Yeah, a little surprised that Ace didn't pick that up. Because that'll just... this room, and in particular the Turtles room coming up, it's just going to make that a lot easier for jeddoman when he gets here. Like, this room right here is not too bad without the fire rod. And it's actually even in logic with the fire rod. But the turtle room, not this one that he's in right now, but the one he's going to have to go to get to the back. That one's particularly difficult. Okay, hookshot. So pod with the goods, and he's going to death warp.
Yeah, how is it that they always put the... Oof, that's an unfortunate overall death by jeddoman.
Yeah, that's not a death warp.
Yeah, no, you don't want to pick a death warp with
no, never, ever.
So that's gonna have to run all the way back into the Dark World first and then over to pod again.
Okay,
yeah,
I don't think...
How come they always put all the lamps in all the easier dark rooms? Can they just put them in the hard dark rooms instead?
I don't know. But I like the way Ace ended up routing this, and he's doing the right side last. I'm gonna guess that the big key... There's probably a big key, small key here. And then you can just go straight here to the back. Like in a typical non-spoiler run, it's not uncommon with this kind of key layout to just go to the back right away and then pick up your items afterwards.
Yeah, that seems sensible.
And Jeddoman
Looks
not
like we
heading
never-
back over to Pod. Maybe he's going to Skullwoods. He's got that fire rod. He doesn't have a sword yet, so he needs a sword to go to do Skullwoods.
Yeah, he never did pick up the cape as well, so maybe that was just a safety item instead of something on Bumper Ledge.
There's also always the possibility of you never know when a runner could misread something or not quite check everything fully. I referenced this last night in another race, but there was a race last week where Meyer and Turtle Rock were both pendants. So theoretically, you didn't need the cane. One runner, though, picked up the cane. The other runner was like, well, why is he going out of his way to pick up the cane? And turned out that you needed it for GT Big Key. So,
Oof, yeah, that's a rough one.
So the fact that the second runner was able to watch, I was like, I better make sure. And so he did. So it could have been a lot worse. He could have actually gone into GT and been like, oh, whoops. But no, that's not what happened.
All right, so Ace is gonna head into some of the harder parts of the dark rooms here with the turtles. No fire rods, so only the hammer and sword to rely upon here.
Yeah, and just a fighter sword too. So this is not an easy room at all. I am very surprised. Yeah, I'm really surprised he didn't. I mean, that fire rod was just right on his way. So really surprised he didn't pick it up.
Yeah, only down to one heart here as well. So looks like he's
gonna bail.
Dip out for now.
Let's see if he goes and gets that fire rod to come back.
So something seems to be in the back of Skullwoods here.
Well, he can't go. He can't go do Mothula right now, not without a sword.
Maybe it's another sword. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good as well.
Yep, definitely something the runners need. I think Ace is going to benefit from being able to go there with a sword and just do the fight right then and there. Although fighter sword Mothula, we saw in an earlier race today, is definitely not an easy fight.
Yeah, maybe that's the Galaxy play. If you just okay, never mind. I think she just might not realize.
He's trying to. This is not going to work. Okay, let's see if Ace goes and picks up that. Yeah, he's heading towards that fire rod. And in the case of Ace, this may be oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Well, I've already forgotten. Let's try and go without. And then when it didn't work out, he's like, no, I'm just gonna reset and go pick up that fire rod. And I think that was a good call for him to just do it. But not going back into pod yet. So
yeah, there seems to be a few little bit of routing whoopsies for runners.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to happen when you only have
for sure
15 minutes to prepare.
And in Ace's case, if there's nothing on Helmosaur, then he may just wait till he has the mirror and just do knockout Pod and Eastern all at the same time.
Yeah, that would be a pretty nice combo to be able to do.
And maybe he's possibly headed to Skullwoods himself now.
Yeah, that would seem likely, at least to get the mitts, and with the sword could complete Mothula as well, although a little bit scary. 5 hearts.
5 hearts,
pretty chaotic fight as well. Yeah, might even go for the hammer at that point, to be honest. But that has its own problems.
Yeah, the hammer definitely the stronger weapon, but the hitbox of the hammer is definitely makes it a harder fight too. Okay, actually, looks like Ace is not going into Skullwoods right away. And pick up some stuff in Village Outcasts.
Might be some good stuff down here to make Mothula a little bit easier.
Oh well, that's the thing we need. Flute's important.
Definitely need that one.
Without a mirror, though, can't activate it right away, which is unfortunate. I see some pathing towards Bumper Ledge. We did pick up that cape. Nope. Okay, never mind. Going into Skullwoods. Decided to get the flute first.
Gentleman taking a little bit longer than normal. Might just be looking something up in the log, because they are allowed to keep searching the log after the 50 minutes. It's just that it's usually a little bit harder to do when you're running the seed at the same time.
Yeah, they can access the log as much as they want, and sometimes you'll see runners will just kind of pause for a second to look at that log. Sometimes because they want to double check a location, or sometimes maybe they'll want to try and see if there's any safeties nearby that they can take. Okay, Ace will be able to finish this, but it will be a tough one. We'll see how this works out for him.
Yeah, my favorite time to search for things in the spoiler log is during like crystal animations.
Yep.
You have a few seconds to search one thing up really quick.
You know, it's kind of funny when you think about it, because if you think of anybody that's played the regular game knows how long those cutscenes actually are. In spoiler, you almost wish they put that text back in.
Yeah.
So you can look at your spoiler log for the minute or so that whichever maiden is talking and telling you the same thing that they've told you over and over again.
Maybe we should talk to Cinna, because that's something we can do.
Okay, Mire Shed.
Ooh, okay, so there's another sword.
There's a sword.
Yeah, that one is going to be pretty free to get.
Yeah, that's not a bad location for a sword at all.
Okay, Ace, it looks like he's waiting out the bunny animation here a little bit. Gonna be able to pick up 1 heart here. Yeah, so 4 hearts now. Take 2 hearts from Mothula and 1 from the spikes. So it's definitely gonna have to be very careful here.
He has a little bit of magic to use that cape. I don't know if that's the best idea, because that cape could run out at a bad time for you. So we'll see how he decides to play it.
Ooh, nice hammer hit so far. Takes that hit from Mothula though, so potential 1-hit KO mode. Now definitely 1-hit KO mode here. Ooh, this is close.
Oh,
Nicely.
And guts it out.
Finisher.
That was a really nice start. Scary middle, but a nice strong finish. And we get our first crystal of the match at 21 plus minutes. And gentlemen grabbing the smith. Okay, something on the smith chain.
Yeah, we haven't seen a mirror yet. So.
Nope, no mirror. Both runners going ahead and starting a sanctuary. Although at this point, you know, you just want to be able to, you're just going to flute anyway.
Yeah, AceZer has to run over to activate the flute, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think he's done that yet. It's definitely not faster to run here than to flute here.
What will the smith have for us today? Quake? We know
Quake
that's
for
required for Turtle Rock. Okay.
Pendant Turtle Rock required for something. Well, wonders never cease.
Yeah. So I'm guessing we're probably gonna see Turtle Rock at some point.
Yep.
Unless there's something in the purple chest and we just need to get rid of the smith first, but that would probably
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, I think at that point you could probably
can't get that purple chest.
Yeah,
I can't get that purple chest until you turn the smith in.
I wonder if you can skip the item though, if you want to get the purple chest. You just turn them in.
Really good question. And just never pick it up. Yeah, maybe.
Not something you would normally see in random, that's for sure.
No. Oh, headed towards Agina's cave on Jeddoman's side.
Okay, AceZer picking up the smith as well. Sometimes there is a potential that you like misread what medallion you need. I think that was actually one of the defining moments in the last match of the Swiss rounds last week. But they're both going for this. Looks pretty clear that we need it.
I didn't see what we got over at Agina's cave.
We got a cane of Samaria, so that's
yep, we need that too.
Required. Yeah, I guess we can actually go into Tart Rock now. We cannot beat the boss, but since it's a pendant, we might not have to.
Okay, Ace heading over there too, but he doesn't have his cane yet.
You're right, and Jeddo had to leave because he didn't have the hookshot yet.
So I wonder if there's something else in this area that Ace is going after. Now, he does have to do Hera. He could do that now. If there's something in Hera, that would be a good play. If there's nothing in Hera, I would expect them to wait and do that right before GT.
Mm-hmm. Nice bonk there in the retreat to get a little bit of safety fairy. So we don't take another overworld death here. Also a lot safer to get here now that you have a sword that you can use dash for the enemies. Oh, nice blue mail there. That's probably one of the best safeties you can potentially find.
Oh, for sure.
Let's see, like this.
And Ether. Okay, so that's required for Misery Mire. And Ace is continuing. So again, either he's forgetting his Cane of Samaria or there's something more here. And I hope for his sake, I hope there's something more here.
Oh, nice. Another sword on Floating Island.
Oh.
But that would require the mirror to get.
Yep.
But we are going to get mirror at some point, so we could always pick up that sword before GT. Worst case scenario.
He's going to go ahead and open up Turtle Rock, and then let's see if he walks in.
Yeah, if he walks in here, they're probably going to get a rude realization.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, no, he's just saving. So, okay, either he remembered in time, or he just was always planning on doing this. Let's see where he goes now.
If we see a flute to 6, I think that will be a pretty clear answer.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Flute to 6, get your cane, you can get that other sword, and then if you want, you can head back up to Turtle Rock and do whatever it is you need to do. Or you could just go ahead and do Mire at that point if you want. That would also be an option.
Yeah, that's fair.
On the other hand, maybe would like that sword first, get that mirror, and come back.
There's a sword in Mire Shed, so at least we would have Master Sword, but still doing Mire, especially the Dark Rooms without the lamp, 5 hearts. That's a little bit scary.
That's
kind of what these races comes down to. They just end up being very like low percent, high execution games.
Yep. Yeah, you want to be comfortable with definitely a lower number of hearts and a lower number of safeties, because if you want to run these optimally, you want to be able to skip that stuff. In a normal randomizer, you're going to run into a lot of those safeties. You don't always run into them. It's certainly, there's certainly seeds out there where you just never get the safeties and stuff. But in this, you're going to skip those safeties unless they're on path.
That's why a safety like the blue mail is so valuable, because even though we only have 5 hearts, now it's like pretty much like we have 10 hearts all of a sudden instead of 5. So jeddoman does have the fire rod this time in pod.
Yeah, he didn't get this far.
Finish it here.
Yeah, he never got to pod the first time, so this will be his first time there. But yeah, that fire rod's going to make it a lot easier. And then what we saw earlier with Ace.
Ace up into Pendant Tartrock again. So whatever in here has got to be good.
You know, we went out of our way to get a Quake medallion for it, and we're going in here. I mean, we've only done one crystal. Pretty unusual to go in here this quickly in a non-spoiler situation. Although, you know, Turtle Rock is one of those dungeons that has a lot of requirements to get in it. So it's not that unusual. You say, well, I got all the things I need to get into this dungeon. It must have something. So it wouldn't be that unusual. Oh,
Ooh.
Ace, what? Okay,
I think you should
missed
still
that
have
torch.
enough time here.
Yeah, he's gonna have to hookshot really quickly here. Okay, he makes it. He's gonna play it safe with these rollers, since he doesn't have a whole lot of magic to use that cape. Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay, there's a
Yep.
mirror.
That's required.
Yes, pretty required.
And really smart move from Ace going back in and just grabbing that magic refill.
Yeah, that's a nice move. Probably gonna go for the sword right away here.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if he wants to go overdo Meyer right now, this routing actually is turning out to be pretty nice for him. Because he can grab this sword, he can go overdo Meyer and Desert together, he can go and do Pot Eastern together. Oh, and I didn't see where Jeddoman took that death, but...
I think that was the turtle room.
Yeah, still a rough
looks
room.
like yeah, I think they either missed the torch or didn't have enough magic for it.
Yeah, it's much easier with that fire rod, but it's by no means free, because just hitting that torch in the first place is certainly a difficult thing to do. And he's just bailing on it.
Yeah, especially if you miss the initial shot, can be a lot harder to do the second or third try, because you're gonna get surrounded by turtles pretty quickly.
Okay, Ace has his Master Sword now.
And it looks like we're skipping Hera, so that might be something they can use go mode right before Ganon's Tower.
Like I said, if there's nothing in Hera, you just do it last.
Yeah, for sure. This looks like a combo of Desert and Meyer. Also grabbing the Tempered Sword on the wing.
Yeah, it's a good choice. So you can do Desert first or Meyer first. I'm gonna do Meyer first. With this item set, doesn't really make a huge difference. The thing that would help with Meyer the most is if Silver Arrows were in Desert. I'm gonna guess they're not in Desert, because then you definitely go get them and do Desert first.
Yeah. So Jeddoman heading up to Turtle Rock now as well. Gonna be picking up that mirror and probably the sword as well.
Yeah, the one
is working a little bit from behind at the moment.
Yep. Hasn't completed any crystal dungeons. To be fair, Ace has only completed one crystal dungeon. What do we even need at this point? Do we need anything? Flippers. We need to get those flippers from somewhere.
Yeah, I guess flippers is the only item left required, I suppose.
Yeah, gonna need those for Swamp Palace. If it was Ice Palace, so it was a crystal, we wouldn't even need those.
Oh, Jeddo does not have the magic to open Turtle Rock.
Oh, hopefully he knows to go... Okay, he's going back over to Super Bunny.
Yeah, the problem is Mirror is inside, so he's gonna have to save quit here anyways in order to get back up to the portal.
That's rough.
There's our flippers.
There you go.
And AceZer is...
He's going to do the fish room.
Well, this is quite unusual.
Yeah, you don't see this very often. I think this works out well if you want to go get the if the big key or the item you're looking for is in that chest right above the big chest. Because you can hit that, you can flip that switch there instead of going to the one on the way to the compass room.
I see, okay.
And we'll see if that's where the big key is.
Oh yeah, right, because we needed a big key. I was thinking we got flippers, that's all we need. Just go to the boss.
We can just go.
Okay,
This
this
must be the
makes
big
a lot
key.
more sense now.
Jeddoman still hasn't gone in and gotten that mirror yet. Doing the classic, I've seen the item, therefore I have it.
Yeah, that's rough.
And the thing is, with Spoil, you'll see a lot of times you won't ever rescue the old man if you have a flute. And so every time he saves and quits, he has to go through the extra steps of fluting.
Yeah, isn't that convenient to get that like free health refill as well? So if both our runners were to be watching like the restream, it's an interesting like scenario, because if you're ahead, you can be like, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I can play a little bit more safe.
Yep.
Just to not take any risks. And it's kind of like the reverse when you're behind. You're like, okay, now I need to risk doing some like more extreme maneuvers in order to maybe catch back some time.
And Ace already selecting that cape for the Vidi fight. He's definitely capable of doing the NMG strats here. Like I said, he does run all dungeons, which often will, well, he in particular in all dungeons will use silver arrows, but definitely capable of doing it. But the nice thing about the cape is if you just swing your sword while you're sitting in those eyeballs, that magic goes down slow enough that you can just destroy all those eyeballs before the magic runs out without any problem whatsoever.
Yeah, and it looks like that was exactly what he was going for, and now he can just finish it with the bow here. Can just mirror straight into desert after this as well. Alright, Jeddo about to get the mirror here. Oh, and AceZer is floating away. That is interesting, seeing as we're in pretty much in go mode.
Yeah.
In terms of items.
I'm really surprised he didn't do desert right then and there. I can't think of anything he could possibly want that would make desert easier. He's got a fire rod for Landmo. It's a pretty easy kill. I mean, Silver's is also an easy kill, but I'm gonna guess we're not gonna go out of our way for that.
Yeah, something that can happen sometimes in this mode as well is that it's not that unusual to just mismark your dungeons.
Oh, for sure.
Or it could just be like some muscle memory of being like, okay, I'm done here, float away.
Yep. I mean, it won't be that far out of his way to go back to desert. Just, flute to 6, mirror. Or flute to 6 to go to the Dark World mirror. Not that big a deal.
Yeah, that's fair. Luckily, it doesn't take too long to go back. Jeddoman doing the very rarely seen going back into Link's house just to grab a couple of hearts. Well, a pretty good call because he's a bit low there, so it's gonna help out. Looks like we're gonna have a meetup in Swamp here. No, actually, that would not be possible, right?
Yeah, he needs to get those slippers first. Oh, nice sand cart in the first chest of the first item chest of swamp, I should say. Okay, jeddoman, realizing he doesn't have those flippers, probably gonna flute over to the mire area.
Looks like we're heading into Pot in Eastern. Does have a little bit of time here. If you go for Pot in Eastern, just clear your mind. Think about your next strategy, because all you need to do is go for the bosses here. I mean, I guess it's in the dark, so you do have to pay attention as well.
Yeah, the turtle room will be easier. Again, he's going to want to make sure he gets that the torches lit, but it's going to be a little bit easier because he will have that tempered sword. Looks like he may choose to do Eastern first. I kind of like that idea because then you can get that magic refill at the end of Eastern Palace and be sure to have enough magic to do the turtles.
Yeah, I think I actually used Mirror to get the, or went here to get the fairy for full health going into Mire.
Ah, that's interesting. Ace doing the diver down. Nicely done. Nothing in those chests, apparently. And jeddoman heading into Misery Mire. All right, our Argus fight time.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty close to an NMG fight, which is the tempered sword, and then probably a finish with the fire run.
Sure looks that way.
Strong finish there from AceZer. There's a big key on Argus.
Okay, Ace getting his third crystal. See where he decides to go next. Now, pretty much has to go back to Desert. Needs to do the Pod Eastern combination. We know he'll do Harrow last.
Yep. As long as we remember to go back to Desert.
Yeah. Okay, heading Desert now.
Looks like that's where we're going. Yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely have to ask him about this choice. Why we ended up in Swamp before Desert. Gonna have to go grab the big key first.
Yeah, and jeddoman did dip out of Mire, so might not be very comfortable with the dark rooms.
Yeah, and he's got he never picked up that cape, so that Vidi fight will be a little bit harder for him. Oh, looks like we have a right side big key over here in Desert. So not even boots lock. So those boots might not have even actually been required, but they were in such an easy place to get. I can definitely see why the runners went and got them right away.
Yeah, it did help us get the bow at least.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, that's a good point. We don't know where the second bow is, so that might have been required just for that. And jeddoman gonna go ahead and go into Swamp Palace. I didn't quite get that dash on the right pixel there. It ended up bonking into the door. Over there on Ace's side in Desert Palace.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but stuff like that happens sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What can you do about it? They get this one.
Yep, and that's the harder one too. See what all those enemies running around.
Did use a couple of shots here with the fire rods, and not gonna have enough magic to do only fire rod shots. So might combine it with like a couple of spins with the sword.
Yeah, he'll start with a spin, and then he should have enough fire rod shots. This is another one of those RMG strategies you see in the all dungeons category.
Yeah, definitely looks like he's been practicing that one.
Yep. Yep. He's been working on that category pretty hard, so. Okay, so probably gonna go do Pod Eastern now. Meanwhile, Jeddoman gonna do Swamp. Yep, there it is. Let's see. Probably want to do. So a lot of people will say do Pod first and then do Eastern because of the way the mirrors work out. I tend to disagree. Eastern, we don't have silver arrows, so Eastern's going to use up a ton of our arrows on the Armos fight. You don't actually need to use them at all in the Helmosaur fight, especially with Tempered Sword. Two sword spins will finish him off. So, and there's lots of places in Pod to pick up more arrows. So I suspect I would do Eastern first if it were me.
Yeah,
make sure I have plenty of arrows going into GT. On the other hand, you might not need as many. We don't know where that GT big key is. If it's not behind the Armos Knights there, not going to matter as much. So it looks like he is going to go ahead and do Pod first.
Yeah, I think that might be a big part of it.
Yeah,
you want to make sure you have enough for the mimics, but if you don't have to go for ice armors, as long as you have like I guess 4 technically is enough, but you want to have a little bit more than that, so you're a little bit safe.
Yeah, 4 is the minimum because you'll need 4 for that first room, and then there's a pot of 5 in the next room. So yeah, if you only have the 4, you can't miss.
Nice 10 drop there from the red mimic. Shooting the ice statue a second time, why not? Just for good measure. Really nice start here with the
very nice Argus fight there over the Jeddoman.
Got like half of the zero cycle, but then unfortunately got a little bit stuck there for a while.
He's just finishing Argus off with some sword spins. And Ace, not even bothering with the fire rod. I guess with Tempered Sword, just not as bad. When he came in here before, it was no fire rod as a choice, and I believe he was just on Fighter Sword, so that just makes it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, for sure. And now jeddoman is done in Swamp Hills.
He's going back in. He's heading back in. Well, maybe something's in that big key in that big chest, because he did get the big key on Argus there. Because going with the new diver down strats and the dive bomber strat you can do to get to the left side, if you know you have to go to the left side, it's definitely faster to do that first. Ace gonna just finish off Helmosaur with slashes. There it is. There's a lamp.
There's our lamp. So this seed's lamp logic was really rude.
Yeah.
Because you had to pretty much go into every lamp, like dark room dungeon in order to get it.
Yep.
So that makes a lot of sense why Jeddo wanted to go into Swamp before Meyer, but it wasn't an option, unfortunately.
Okay, now Ace gonna finish up Easter, and Jeddoman gonna go ahead and I assume gonna go do Pod now.
Yeah, looks like it. We're gonna be in the same proximity for a while here. But the big difference is that when Ace is done here in Eastern, he's going to be able to head up to Hera, which will be his last crystal.
Yep.
And meanwhile, jeddoman is actually heading into his second crystal here, unfortunately, so is quite behind at this point.
And he's going to use that fire rod for this room. This room is actually, although with tempered sword, I would just mash on the Igor, because one swing will kill him. But you see Ace going ahead and using that fire rod in that room. It is, I think, in general, one of the harder dark rooms, underrated. So in terms of if you don't even have a fire rod.
Yeah, for sure. So fire rod costs a few extra menus there, but does ensure that the room gets handled pretty smoothly.
And a nice quick kill on the Armos Knights.
Yep, would have had exactly 8 arrows left, but did end up shooting 1 extra, so it's gonna have to pick up that pot with arrows in the mimic room, unless we find any arrows on the way.
Okay, and Jeddoman gonna get his second crystal in just a second. Gonna finish up Helmosaur here.
So one thing that's pretty nice when you're in, not only that you get to do Tower Hera right before Ganon's Tower, but when you get to Gomo Tower Hera, you don't even, now that we have a Herapod glitch, you don't even need to open anything whatsoever. You can just go for the Herapod right away.
Yeah, I suspect that. Yeah, I suspect that's what we'll see here.
I wonder if he's gonna dash past Ganon's Tower here.
Nope.
Remembered.
Yeah, definitely something you see, in particular in these 4 log tournaments, because in normal rando, it's so rare you can get that do Hera into GT like this, but in Spoiler Log, not uncommon at all, because we know whether there's anything we need in Hera.
Nice setup for the Herapod there.
Here we go.
I think that when it comes to Ganon's Tower, people can guess a location, not a number, but a location. Don't think we have a
no, there's no bot or anything. It's bragging rights and only. Bragging rights and fun. And that's how quickly we have Hera done.
It's a boomerang. Maybe if we're going full left, that could actually end up being useful. So there's Eastern down for Jeddoman. Has Desert and Skullwoods and Mire left to do before the mountain. Can combine 2 of those together at least. Looks like Ace is going straight for Hope Room here. Maybe for a small key or maybe for the big key. There's the small key.
He wants the small key.
And mirroring out, so I guess we're going full left here. Well, at least a little bit left.
Yeah. Yeah, picking up that's a very convenient heart container for him, and he can take assuming he's paying attention to what's going on either on the restream or following what Gentleman's doing. He knows he's got enough of a lead that he can take that extra safety.
Mm-hmm. So we have another small key there, so we got 3 already, and there's the big
there it
key.
is.
So we got more than enough small keys to have. And we also even got 10 arrows there, so doesn't have to worry about the mimics.
Yeah, and I think it wouldn't surprise me if he was watching that, see what else was, you could take a look at see what else is in that room and know that those arrows are there just to have those extra arrows. Will be interesting to see if he picks up anything in these last 4 chests up top. All right, gets through the mimics without too much trouble. Gentleman's going to go ahead and do his Eastern Mire combo here. I don't think he did that on purpose. Usually if you fall off to get the iframes, you're going to do it right at the beginning. So I'm a little surprised he didn't take advantage of the iframes, though, to go ahead and just, just run straight through. It is a valid strat to just fall off and just use those iframes to run straight through everything.
Especially if you're planning to take the safety room anyways.
And we are now in the gauntlet.
It doesn't have half magic or any bottles, and only has the fire rod. So that's the biggest concern, I think. Just making sure you don't use too much magic before the torch rooms. Well, that stuff was being a little bit rude.
Yeah.
A little bit more rough when you're trying to take him down without the fire rod.
He's thinking about what do I want to use to kill the land moles too. Looks like he's going to do kind of a similar fight than he did, and switches to the sword. Uses 1 fire rod shot. No lamp.
As long as you have enough magic for the first torch room, you can always pick up the full magic in the second room.
And yeah, without that lamp, he's going to need to use more magic to light those torches to begin with. So it makes sense to conserve a little bit.
Yeah, did skip on that small magic container in the room after Lamos, but
looks like he didn't need to worry because that Wisrobe kindly left him a big magic drop.
Yeah, Ace, you should have just gone for the full on firearm strands, hoping to get bail out.
You could have grabbed another one right there if you wanted to.
Yeah, that would have actually given him enough magic to not have to pick up the full magic in the...
Yeah, I think he's fine because he's going to pick up the small magic on that lower pot.
Yeah, that's fine.
It picks that up, and that should give him enough for the next room.
Yeah, and then you can take the full magic before Moldorm.
Yep.
Ooh, we took the fall, and he already picked up... No, he didn't pick up the full magic, so he's fine.
No, he didn't. He's fine.
Okay. Whew. That could have been scary otherwise.
That is scary, because, I talk about this a lot. The game has a tendency to give you the items you need in a lot of these places, but right in that area, not as much so.
Yeah, magic is one of those things you really have to conserve sometimes. Oh,
a nice powder
that's
spot.
a very convenient powder.
and a mail upgrade at the last
Wow.
chest. That's pretty much as convenient a spot as you can get for that red mail.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Gentleman is going for. This is not the big key. Okay, it's a heart
I
container.
don't know if he's wanted that heart container, or if maybe he got the map chest confused with the compass chest.
I think so. Especially with that pulse there.
Yeah, he's checking again now. I mean, that heart container isn't a terrible thing to pick up, but I don't think that's what he was looking for.
Yeah, that's the best constellation price possible.
Nice
A lot
triple
better
there.
than just a small key.
Yeah. Yeah, Mire small keys are not very useful, because there's a lot of doors that go to nowhere in Misery Mire.
Alright, Ganon, time for AceZer.
So the only scary part left for him at this point, he is going to have to get that torch glitch with the fire rod, since he did not get silvers.
Yeah. Yeah, I did end up peeking where the silvers were.
Yeah, I did too.
They were not very friendly.
No,
Ended up
not at
being-
all. It was
Yeah,
on the
ended up
green,
being on Sahashala.
yeah, green pendant turn-in. in a thieves town that we weren't not otherwise doing, so yeah. Certainly do not blame the runners at all for not planning on picking that up. The other fun one was the last sword was in the big chest in Ganon's tower, so we weren't getting that either.
Yeah, nah, that's kind of out of the way.
Oh yeah, and the half magic you talked about was over in I think it was in the same room as the vanilla big key chest, so yeah, not getting that either.
No, I'm glad I didn't run this one.
He's down to 3 hearts. He's gonna have to be careful here.
Yep, it should be able to tank fire, but still but has to be a bit careful, because even if he can tank the hits, he could still fall off. And, oof, that was close.
I got it though.
Yep. I missed the first shot, but managed to save it with the second shot there. And it should have enough magic here. Even if he goes for doubles, he should probably have enough. Does end up getting a couple of triples here, so that's gonna speed up the
Yeah, it's
civilist
looking
part
good.
here.
And there it is.
There we go. Smoked ham, and AceZer is gonna take his first win in the Swiss round, so it looks like.
And GG's to AceZer finishing up with official SR time of 1:17:34. So subtract 15 minutes off of that, so that's a 1:02:34.
Yeah, definitely a very respectable time.
And Gentleman taking another death over in Mire, and he does forfeit from the race.
Yeah, this ended up being a pretty rough run. Also, can't blame them for that at all. Looks like we are joined by AceZer. GG's on the win, dude.
Yeah, hey, hey Ace, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for the GGs.
Yep, GG.
That was a fun seed. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, so let's see. The
The
pod
fire
play,
rod.
yeah, the fire rod.
That was
So
bad.
what was the plan to pick up the fire rod before going into pod, and you forgot?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the way I do these is I have like an Excel sheet with like required items, and then like a column for keys and a column for like quality of life stuff, like mail upgrades and things. And then I have like a little spot at the bottom where I actually like put a general route. So I had like Herald Castle, Eastern, Kakariko, Pyramid, Pod. That's the order. I even put a special line for Pyramid just for that one item, so I didn't forget. And of course, I forgot.
Yep. Well, it happens.
Yeah.
So was the idea that, well, let's try it anyway and just bail if it didn't work out, which is what ended up happening.
Absolutely. If I had gone into the room without charging the sword, I might have had a better chance, because the fighter sword, that just spreads the turtles around and you can't really kill them.
Yep.
It's obviously really hard to kill them with just hammer in the dark, but it's honestly safer. But I knew immediately when I forgot to drop my sword charge, I was like, well, I'm gonna die. Just get this later. Luckily, there's nothing else behind Helmsaur.
Yeah, and then you got to combo with Eastern anyway, so it wasn't so bad. But
yeah, honestly, that felt less bad than the mistake of forgetting Samaria until I got.
Yep, I knew there was another one. That was the other one I was going to ask you about. Was the Samaria
I had that
play.
one. I had that, and I even thought, like, okay, it's on the right side of Turtle Rock, so I have to have the fire rod. I obviously have to have the Quake to get in, and a sword, and then, of course, everything for East Death Mountain. I was like, I got all that. I don't need the Ice Rod. I don't need anything else to beat the dungeon, because I just grab this and leave. And it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Kane.
And we are joined by Jeddoman as well. GG's, dude.
Yeah, GG's.
This ended up being a pretty rough seed.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that was the Jeddoman, of course, did the other mistake of trying to go to the back of Skull Woods without a sword. So I mean, we all make those little errors.
I see, yeah.
I'm
I'm pretty bad swordless, so I made sure to get that early. Especially with boots, I just end up bonking into things and taking damage, so I think I make a more effort than other people sometimes to get a sword when I have boots, like, even faster, even if it's not the most efficient.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, because you went straight for the boots at the beginning of the seed, which I thought was a nice play. And then you're running around. Well, you're like you said, you're running around without a sword, and
yeah, it was interesting. Both of you were heading up to Turtle Rock at the same time, but one of you were missing the hook shot. The other one was missing the Quake to get in.
No, the cane.
Oh, the cane.
Yeah,
yes.
you had the Quake.
Yeah, it was the cane. I had Quake. Which is the other thing. I forgot to pick up the Smith before I save and quit, and I was like, no, I need the Quake. So then I went back to do that and still forgot the cane. It's so hard to do these just because, like, all the little things, like, obviously, you guys probably noticed that when I was in, like, places like Paradox Cave or Hookshot Cave, I just opened every chest. I just put on my tracker, like, Paradox. It's so much less to try to process and figure out which exact chest. So, like, I try to, as I'm going, like, piece together some of those, like, fine details when I have downtime, but then, of course, I can forget big things that are more important.
Yeah, and it's not a lot of downtime. We were joking about how they should put the text back into the crystal cutscenes, so you have time to look at the spoiler log during those.
Yeah, maybe not the text, but just the time.
Yeah, there you go. Although if they put text in, they might get creative, and that could distract you. Let's see, gentlemen. Can you hear us now? Are you good?
I can hear you guys. You guys got me now?
Yeah, we got you.
All right. I had my Discord audio going through the wrong thing, so I was very confused why I couldn't hear any of you.
Ah, yeah. Discord will do that sometimes. I swear it spontaneously changes my audio sometimes too. So.
GG's, Ace.
Yeah, GG's.
I could not get a route together to save my life.
Yeah, this siege today had probably one of the rudest lamp I've seen in a long time.
Oh yeah, that's a terrible lamp.
Yeah, because the big key was left side swamp, right?
No, the big key was on Argus.
Yeah,
that's
big key
right.
was
He was
Argus.
the boss. Yeah, I know. I looked at where the big key was and said, nope, not getting the lamp.
Yep.
Yeah, you pretty much had to go into Turtle Rock, Mire, and Pod in order to get the lamp.
Yep.
Right.
All the dungeons that you would want to have the lamp for, theoretically. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, I think even though I made some mistakes here, I was really happy with my execution for the most part. Like that Skull Woods play, I half expected to die there, especially since I died there twice last week, and I'm amazed I clutched out that 5-heart fighter sword Mothula.
Yeah, well, that's the fight started really nicely. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you got 3 hammer hits right away, and then it got a
Mhm.
little scary. But then you
Yeah.
clutched it out in the end.
I was just patient and just waited for like the perfect opportunity.
Hmm. But yeah, that Mothula fight is no joke. And then nice to see some of your all dungeons runs paying off, because we definitely saw some of those strats in the run too, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I got the like diver down like super quick, and
Did
can't
the
remember
your land mole fight was 100% what we see in 80?
oh yeah, that was the first landmo. The second landmo is actually like, so since I get silvers in that speed run, like I'm used to using silvers on landmo 2
Yep.
for sure, and without lamp I wasn't like, I wanted to just be extra careful and make sure I didn't use too much magic, so I was
Yep.
like a little hesitant, but then the fight kind of went weird on landmo 2, but it was fine.
Yeah, and you got a nice. Then you got the nice lucky full magic refill there, which might have saved you a little bit at the end because of that fall you took in the second torches room. So you didn't have to pick up that so that full magic was still sitting there.
Right.
And then how about those? And then those last 2 safety items, the top of Ganon's tower.
Yeah, I know, that was perfect. Like, I saw in the spoiler log, and I was like, I don't know if I really need red mail, but like, the blue mail will be helpful for so long, and I'm obviously gonna pick up the red mail for Ganon
right
just in case. I can just tank some hits and not really worry about it.
So is this were any of you in the spoiler tourney last year?
I was not.
I was not either. This is actually my first tournament.
How are you guys liking the format so far?
I mean, I like it. I think it's cool. I think I'd prefer just like 5 more minutes of time. So obviously there's a limit on, you can't have too much time before the
15
race.
minutes is not a lot.
Yeah, that extra 5 would be like perfect to get to the point where I think I wouldn't forget quite as much, but I'd still have some like fine tuning to do throughout playing it. It still wouldn't be perfect, so I think that'd be neat. Otherwise, it's great.
Go ahead, gentlemen.
I'm in the same mindset. Just like 5 extra minutes on that study period would be the world.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to 5 extra hours, to be honest. That would be nice.
Yeah, we'll just give you the spoiler log like hours before the race starts. You could just kind of, drink some coffee while looking it over.
Study it the night before, sleep on it. You know what?
Of course, then we would really be expecting perfect routes from you guys, and then anything less would be a disappointment. So it'd be a different kind of pressure. All right. Anything else either one of you wants to add before we close this one out?
No, not for me. I had a lot of fun. GG's again, gentlemen. Good luck going forward. I'm looking forward to my next match myself.
Likewise, GG's to you, and hopefully I can have my head on my shoulders next time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely made my share of mistakes too. I don't know if you were watching, but
it's too much for me to watch
Yeah,
someone else's stream while I'm trying to play too. So for me, I just try to
Same.
focus in on mine, and to heck with the rest of it.
it's the same for me. But if you watch it back, I definitely did some dumb things I'm sure you did not do that you were ahead of me on.
Oh no, I tried to go into Skull 3 with just the hammer, no swords, to try and go kill Moth.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely boned on that one.
Yep. Mistakes can be made. I kind of think of it as sometimes I've seen where the item is, or I know where the item is, therefore I already have it.
Yeah.
We've all done that. All right. So we do have more races coming up today. Starting, it looks like it started about 15 minutes ago. We have Feremi versus Revenant on SpeedGaming 4. And then at 10:15 we have F. Coughlin versus Sir Linkalot. That'll be on SpeedGaming 3. And then tomorrow we don't know what's going to be restreamed, but a whole lot of matches scheduled for tomorrow. So definitely want to check out the schedule tomorrow. But yeah, I guess that's going to pretty much do it for us. I want to thank Walter for joining me. Always a pleasure. Glad you're willing to stay up late and join me on commentary. And of course, can't go without mentioning our tracker, Dark Diplomat, clicking the buttons behind the scenes, doing the hard work that I'm just terrible at. So we need someone that can do it to do it. So definitely big shout outs to him. And also, if you're not following these runners already, please go ahead and click on the links in chat and do so. And I will leave it up to Walter to close us out.
Yeah, GG's to our runners, and good luck in your next matchup in next week. And yeah, have a good night, everyone.